guys, Pete from MixCat. Today we're going to make a boneless pork rib. I let these pork ribs marinate overnight in a balsamic vinegar and a little bit of hot sauce and garlic. We let that sit for 24 hours, and the balsamic vinegar is going to start to break down the meat. It should make this nice and tender. There's a good close-up of the meat. Again, this has been sitting for about 24 hours. That's balsamic vinegar, a little bit of hot sauce, some garlic and pepper. And you can see it's really darkened up the meat. And this is a pork, fairly lean. There's some fat on it, but it's a boneless pork rib. Okay, to accompany the pork, I'm going to make a zucchini and squash pie. I'm going to cut these up into slices and going to put some flour, some salt, some egg, and I'll step you through the process, but this is a zucchini and squash pie. The slices I'm going to be making of the zucchini, I'm going to use a cheese grater, and I'm going to use these slotted sides here. That works perfect for it. Just to kind of show you the consistency, we're looking for something pretty small like that. There we go. Gotta love fast forward. That's how thin we're looking for. I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow squash. That way it's nice and thin and we can easily distribute that in a pan. Okay, we got a little bit over a cup of flour in there, and I'm going to put a little bit of just regular salt, about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt, maybe closer to a half, maybe a third of a teaspoon. There we go. And I'm going to put a cup of milk in there next. Okay, and now the milk. There we go. And we're just going to mix that in. And it's pretty loose right now. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to put some Parmesan cheese in this, and that's going to help it all nice and bind together and give it a great flavor. There we go. Just kind of mix this in until it thickens up a bit. There we go. And next thing is our grated cheese. Going to be pretty generous with that grated cheese. And we're going to mix that. Now an egg. We're going to mix him in too, and might need to thicken it up with a little bit more flour. We'll see how that turns out. Okay, I have a mix of chili pepper and black pepper that I'm going to put in there. Not real spicy. It's more of a smoked flavor, but it's going to really tang up that squash cake. And if you don't like it spicy, you can skip this step, or you can put something a little bit more mild in there. Maybe like a smoked paprika. Okay, here's the consistency we're going with. Kind of runny. Similar to a little bit thinner than like a pancake batter. Next thing that's going to go in is the squash and the zucchini. Just going to knock them all in, and we're going to mix these guys through, and that's going to go into the bake pan. There we go. Just going to evenly mix that and pop that into the pan. Maybe a little bit more cheese too. Yeah, it's looking good. There we go. Okay. Now it's going to go into the pan. Let's move them over so you can see it. And we just want to evenly distribute that. There we go. As I make a mess. Perfect. And just flatten this out. And we're going to put a little bit of cheddar cheese on the top of that too. A little grated cheddar. Makes everything taste good. There we go. Perfect. Okay, there's the cheddar. And that'll bake into it real nice. Just a little bit there. Okay. So much for even. Okay. That'll work. And it's going into the oven, 375. also putting in the pork. Looks great. And they should both be done in about, I'd say, 40 minutes. Perfect. And it smells good. I wish you guys could smell it. Let's see here. Yeah, the squash pie's looking good. That's kind of raising up. Man, that smells good. Let's look at that. Oh, the pork almost done. Yeah, that looks great. Another 15 minutes and we're good. Man, that looks perfect. Cooked to perfection. There's the pork and the squash pie. Alright, getting ready to plate this. I put a little bit of cheddar cheese on it. And that's American cheddar. This is actually a little bit of, let me grab a little bit more. This is a sweet and sour sauce. And it's going to go real nice with the pork. Just kind of drizzle that on there. For presentation. And that's some basil and parsley that's also on the plate. Here's the pork, and I just washed some basil from outside. Put that there. Alright, and a little paprika. That's cooking with Mixcat.
Yeah!